Hello everyone, it's a trading card collector with another comic book related video. Another non-trading card video, second one I do this. I don't know yet if I'm going to continue, depends if people like it or not. But I do have here my weekly pulls for the last couple of weeks as well. Same as I did last time, I'm just quickly going to go through all the different comics that I pick up from my local comic shop. And Wednesday is the new comic book day, so I picked this up last Wednesday, and yeah, I'm just quickly going to flip through this and just give you some thoughts and impressions. I think I have read all of these already, so I can probably have some feedback notes on them. All right, starting with Amazing Spider-Man is number 59 or 953 if you follow the legacy numbering, which I do. Just continuing, I think this is the Wells' last or penultimate issue. He is closing his run on Amazing Spider-Man. I think the story is fine. I mostly just like it because of John Romita Jr. art. I think it's fantastic. The Deviant. This is a great horror story from James Tynion, and it's about to come to a close. I think the next issue is probably going to be the final one, if I recall correctly. This is like a really, really fun book about like a murder, horror, mystery, which I have really enjoyed. And yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the next issue is going to be the very last one. But I definitely do recommend this one. Conan and the Black Stone. New series from the new Conan that Titan is publishing. This one basically mixes all of Robert E. Howard characters. Conan is the most famous one, but we have Solomon Kane here as well, and a few others. I think it's too early to tell about this series still. I do really love this cover. This is by Rob De La Torre, who I know personally actually, and I did reach out to him after this was announced, asking if I could buy the original art for this cover because I really liked it, but unfortunately he had already sold it. But yeah, it's a very nice guy, and I really like his drawing. Redcoat, and I think they have another, yeah, so from this new Ghost Machine universe, Redcoat continues the story of this guy. I think the next issue is going to be the last on this arc or this series. I'm not a big fan of Jeff Jones for like his personality issues. I do love Brian H as an artist, which is the main reason why I'm buying this one. And this was another one, another new series, number 1, Hyde Street, from also Jeff Jones, which again, I bought this mostly because I do like Ivan Reis, the artist. I deeply dislike Jeff Jones as a person, and I would not support him otherwise. Okay, what else do we have here? Immortal Thor, continuing the Al Ewing run on Thor. I've been pretty fun with this so far, and the Alex Ross still doing the covers. I mean, they are pretty awesome. If you look at anything Alex Ross does, it's just fantastic. This is a new series of Equipping Below, a new series from Boom Studios. I'm really, really enjoying this imprint. I think mostly everything that they put out is pretty high quality. And this one is written by Brian Azzarello, so like a solid writer. But to be fair, I was not a huge fan of this new series. The art style is definitely unique. This is also a semi-horror story, and it's only issue 1, so it might be just too soon to tell. It's a story about some cult or monster in the woods. I may give it another issue or 2 and see how it plays out. But yeah, otherwise, I'm not so sure about this one. Dead Eyes, The Empty Frames. This is another number 1. And this was not released the last couple of weeks actually, but it was not on my pull list. And when I went to pick up my comics, I saw this in the store, and it did catch my eye. So I decided to add it to the list for the week after, but I think this was released 3 weeks ago. My main pull here was the artist, John McCrea, and I know him from Hitman, a DC story from Garth Ennis, that DC did like quite a while ago actually, like 20 years ago perhaps. And this one was actually really, really fun. I really like this new series. It's about a heist story. So I am going to continue purchasing this one for sure. The new reboot of the X-Men. I think I did mention this about last time as well. Jed MacKay, not my favorite writer, is also following up the whole Krakoa story, so the deck's sort of stacked against him, and it's I think it's entertaining but unremarkable, I would say, about the new X-Men series. Nemesis, the issue number 3, Mark Millar from the Millerverse. They've recently he's recently moved all his properties to Dark Horse, and they've started a bunch of new series from number 1. And this is the one about Nemesis, which is the premise of this guy is basically a guy with Batman's resources that is just as crazy as the Joker. It's just like a supervillain. Pretty fun read. I don't know if it's a bit played out already. They've had like a bunch of these series. I think this is the 3rd one or the 4th one that features Nemesis. But in this one, they introduce the version of Robin for this universe, and it's a fun read regardless. The new Daredevil series, issue number 14. I honestly mostly enjoy the covers by Romita Jr., but the story is not bad. It's a bit too much religion for my taste, but I think it's a solid story. 2 new Marvel Ultimate Universe comics as well. We had the Ultimates, the Ultimate Universe version of the Avengers, or like this new Ultimate Universe version of the Avengers, which introduces a new Hawkeye and Ultimate Black Panther. Entertaining so far, but I maintain my last statement that Ultimate Spider-Man is by far the better series of all this new universe. The rest, they seem like they still need to pick up the pace a bit. Absolute Batman number 1. This was a big move for DC. They have essentially released their own version of this Ultimate Universe, which Marvel did first like 20-25 years ago. And this is basically a brand new Batman in a brand new universe where superheroes don't really exist. It's written by Scott Snyder, who did rise to fame writing Batman with the New 52. And it features like a reintroduction to all the characters from the Bat universe. And there's a 1-page ad for Absolute Wonder Woman, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, I think. And this is a brand new story. So the original mythos are there. So you have Batman, and one of his parents at least was murdered, and he fights crime and all that. But then everything else is a bit different. They had a really large print run on this issue, I think like 200,000 copies, and it is completely sold out everywhere for cover price. So if you want to get this issue now, it's probably going to cost you like $20 at least. So it did skyrocket a bit in price. It was like cover price was $4.99. So yeah, this proved really popular. This is the main cover. I know there was another famous Jim Lee cover that also got sold out really quickly. But right now I was checking this online. And if you want to buy it, it's probably going to cost you like at least $15. So it's like 3 times the cover price value. I did pre-order 2 copies of Absolute Wonder Woman just in case, but I can't imagine it's going to be as popular as Batman, because this is the beginning of the brand new universe where they're just trying to emulate the success that Marvel had originally with the Ultimate Universe. Another Marvel comic, Fantastic Four, issue 26. This does continue the arc by North. What is his name? I forget. Ryan North, I believe. Ryan North, yes. So this is a pretty decent, typically self-contained within one issue stories about the Fantastic Four. I do not like the fact that Alex Ross has stopped doing the covers. So I think he stopped on issue 24. This is 26, because those covers were just gorgeous. And then Zdarsky, Public Domain, continuing a series that he did a while ago. And I think he only has one more issue to go. I have not read this one. I'm waiting for the full run to complete before reading everything. And then to close it, I have 2 big magazine-sized issues from Distillery. The first one is written by Brian Azzarello as well, and it's called Live. I really, really like this one. This is issue number 2, and I think it's going to close issue number 3. Now, this is a flip book. It means that, so you have your cover here, and you have a story that you read normally, and then halfway through, you have to flip it, and you have like a different story. And those 2 stories are going to converge at some point. And it's like a really nicely written sci-fi story set in a future with like it mixes like science fiction, horror, and we'll see what else. But it's extremely enjoyable. It's about on one hand, one of these flipbook stories, you have a group of prisoners that have been put that had like multiple life sentences, and they've basically made them immortal so they can carry out those life sentences in full, and they just dump them into a planet. And on the other side, you have a group of people who want to go into that planet, which is allegedly abandoned, to basically rob an alleged stash of diamonds that exist on that planet. And when those groups basically collide, things happen. So definitely enjoying this one. I would recommend it. And this one is The Missionary. This is issue number 1. So I think this one just came out. And I've read something from Brian Stegman, and it was alright. It wasn't bad, but it didn't really make an impression. This new series, though, I do really enjoy. It does remind me a bit of Preacher, the Garth Ennis series, if you're familiar with it. This one is basically about a guy who gets possessed by a demon, but sort of willingly. He welcomes a demon in it, and just there is some heaven versus hell conflict in it. But it does have some humorous tones in it as well. So issue number 1, I'm going to assume is going to be 3 issues, like everything Distillery is putting out. And this one also came with 2 versions, a red band version, which is supposed to be more adult, and a regular version. I got the red band one. I don't really know what the difference is. Like, there is some slight gore, but honestly not that much. So I'm assuming the non-red band version is a bit more toned down, but I can't imagine what they might have changed. Like some slight blood and guts, perhaps, so that's about it. But this one made me laugh in a couple of instances, so I think it's going to be a fun one. All right, and there you have it. So this was a quick video just showcasing some of the comics I got the last couple of weeks. And as always, every Wednesday I go to my local comic shop and stock up on everything in my pull list. Let me know what you think of these comic book related videos, and I'll ponder if I continue making them or not. Thank you and enjoy.